Hi everyone, today we're discussing arsenic poisoning. Now, what happens is in arsenic poisoning is basically, first of all, you need to know there's two types of arsenic poisons. One is trivalent arsenic, also known as arsenite, and the other is pentavalent arsenic, also known as arsenate. Now, the trivalent arsenic it affects the TCA cycle, and this is more dangerous. Whereas the pentavalent arsenic it affects the glycolysis, and this is less dangerous. Now, let's talk about pentavalent arsenic first. So, this affects glycolysis, but what step of glycolysis exactly? So, if you can recall, GALP, which is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, it gets converted to 1,3-bis phosphoglycerate, right? And here you need oxidized NAD and you also need inorganic phosphate, and that these are the two things that you need. But what happens is that the arsenate, which is a pentavalent arsenic poison, it competitively inhibits pi, which is inorganic phosphate. It binds with inorganic phosphate and it competitively inhibits it. Therefore, what happens as a result is that the first two steps, these are going to be surpassed. So GALP directly gets converted to 3-phosphoglycerate, skipping the middle step. As a result, what happens is that you do not have any production of NADH and you do not have any production of ATP, even though the entire purpose of glycolysis is to produce ATP. So now your cell is deprived of two ATPs from here and two NADH here. So glycolysis is basically futile in this case. This is what arsenate does. What about arsenite? This is more dangerous, remember? Now this affects the TCA cycle. And if you can recall, right before the TCA cycle, there is this step where pyruvate gets converted to acetyl-CoA, and this is one of the fates of pyruvate, right? For that, you need pyruvate dehydrogenase complex. Now, this complex, it has three components, E1, E2, E3. Now, with the component E2, there's attached lipoic acid. This is a coenzyme. Now, with the lipoic acid is attached sulfur hydride. Now, what exactly happens is that arsenite poison, it binds with sulfur hydride, and this renders lipoic acid inactive. Once lipoic acid is inactivated, E2 will be inactivated simultaneously. PDHC, which is pyruvate dehydrogenase complex, that will be rendered inactive, and this entire step, pyruvate conversion to acetyl-CoA, it won't take place, and there'll be pyruvate accumulation in the body, and this will lead to neurotoxicity. Hence, arsenite is more dangerous.